good morning, good evening, good night, depending on what part of the world you are in. It is about 7:30 a.m. on this okay weather Saturday, and we are doing our weekend live stream. For those of you who are a little bit new, every weekend I do one live stream for about an hour, sometimes a little bit more, and we answer questions and all that sort of stuff. Try and help provide you any direction that I can, right? The hardest part with taking on a new task like this is just making sure that you're doing the right things and getting some feedback and just essentially providing some sort of mentor function, right? And it's really hard for a lot of the time going through this stuff on your own. And so my goal is hopefully it's to make it so that you don't feel so alone. So here we are doing our thing, doing the damn thing, as they say. And by the way, is this not going out? I feel like for some reason it is. No, it's public. Okay, cool. Everyone's just sleeping still. So while people are tuning in, let's go ahead and talk about the topic before we get to everyone's questions. Today's topic is getting a raise and a promotion. This is something that I'm going to be kind of speaking out of my ass on because, in all honesty, the way that I've gotten raises and promotions in the past is not by staying at a company. It's more so by how can I put this? By leaving. That's the truth of the matter. Leaving for a raise and working for another company. And going from there, right? So in that aspect, you can be very successful of, okay, I'm going to leave my current situation for a better situation, which will result in a raise or a promotion of some sort. And that is very, very easy. So in that way, you essentially just clean up your resume, clean up your LinkedIn, have, more skills, upsell yourself to a new company, wham bam, a year later, 6 months later, you're good to go. It's not very hard, especially as a developer with a little bit of experience. I have offers that are $20,000 higher than what I'm making now from companies. I've turned them down mainly because I love where I'm at, and I'm kind of in a transition period of my life trying to figure things out. So that's not necessarily, and it's the first time in my life where I'm like, I might actually be here longer than a year. That'd be nice, right? No one really enjoys jumping jobs. At least I don't think they do. You enjoy the result of it. You enjoy making the more money, maybe a new environment, but it's a very long and strenuous process, stressful process. So anyhow, what I'm trying to say here, as I blunder my words, is that's one way of getting a raise and a promotion. The other way is within your organization. How do you go about doing that? Well, there's kind of two things to consider. Is it even possible? That's the first question. Is the organization growing? Is it profitable? Because if it's not, it's gonna be a very hard task for you to get a raise, get a promotion, all that sort of stuff. So that's the first thing to consider. Now, another thing is, do you know how to get a raise or a promotion? Honestly, from what I've read in John's book, it seems like the best way is basically ask. Not ask, hey, can I get promoted, or hey, can I get more money? But to ask the question, what is expected of me to be able to get a raise? What is expected of me to get this promotion that I want? Be very specific about what that raise is, what that promotion is, and do those things. Don't assume you're doing those things. Do the actual things that they're assuming and keep track of it, right? So that's one of the things that I'm actually doing this weekend is I'm compiling a list of all the things that I do for work that I believe go above and beyond, as well as things that are just part of my job, so that when my 1-year evaluation comes around, that I can argue for the best promotion, I can argue for the best raise, and at least at the very least, if you don't get it, you have the evidence that it's not a miscommunication. It's a, oh, well, I guess they don't value me as much as I wanted them to value me. But then you can make the choice to get a raise or a promotion elsewhere if needed. It's very strange. Yeah, so I mean, that's really a topic of the day is, if you want a raise, you want a promotion, ask what is needed to get a raise or promotion, and then act on it. Actively act on it, and follow up with your superior and be like, hey, I did this. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? You know, do it. And really, at the end of it, you should get what you're looking for, or in the range of what you're looking for. We never get what we want, but you should get in the range of what you're looking for, I think. Anyhow, I'll let you know. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm at the point now where I think I'm losing money by staying with my current company, and that's not even to say that I'm underpaid. I'm paid quite well. So, but yeah, you got a raise yesterday. Congratulations, Black Halo. Please share your knowledge with us. Do you use similar qualified colleagues to find your worth? Your worth is so. It'd be one thing if you worked with like a bunch of really bad developers. I would say for the most part, all the developers I work with are excellent, and it is nice to work with. And everyone's hardworking, does their shit. So in that sense, we're all pretty much equal. But I don't like that. I don't like comparing developers against one another. I think that everyone is unique. Like I know compared to some of the other junior devs, I make more money, but it's also because I put myself in a situation to make more money. And I'm not talking a ton. I'm talking about like $5,000 or $10,000. So a nice amount, but not a ton more. But I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think it has to do with you. If you accepted an offer, you work for that offer. If you want more money, can you say, look, man, so-and-so is getting more money? I guess you could. I feel like you're sort of breaking the trust a little bit. I think the argument that you make is you let them know, like, hey, my market rate is higher than what I'm getting, and I like working here. I would like to stay, but I have a family, I have kids. Actually, don't even go into that, because that doesn't matter. You say, look, my market rate is higher than what I'm getting paid, or so on and so forth, and you go from there. And you say, look, these are all the things I've gone above and beyond. I did 30 courses this year. I read 5 books this year. I worked overtime these days. I volunteered. I have a 100% attendance record to these extracurricular things. So that's where I would start. That's where I'm going to start when the time comes for me. No, I didn't get a raise. That's just a topic of today. I was talking with this stuff at the at the bar with some colleagues last night. So weird. When I was 20, I would say coworkers, but I'm 30 now. I'm mature, so I say colleagues. All right, that's how it works. But yeah, so a couple cool things for the channel. Monday we got a Dolan video, a 2-part Dolan video. It's gonna be exciting. You get 2 videos for the price of 1 on Monday, and then some of you may be Free Code Camp fans, as I am. Oh, excuse me. If you are, you probably saw my video on their channel. That was kind of exciting, right? I might do another one there. This week's been kind of a blur. It was a game day week, so I have a nice video about scope creep coming out on Wednesday, which is what happened this week. But so I probably put in 15 extra hours this weekend, about 2.5 hours every morning and 30 minutes to an hour after work to meet a deadline. Someone dropped the ball along the way. I'm not quite sure who. I'm not quite sure how, but the ball got dropped and the devs had to pick it up. Shit was fucked. Yeah, it was exhausting though. But they got me. I'll usually do that about once every 2 or 3 months. Found anyone for the channel banner? I have not, man. No one stepped up. I'm not. Yeah, Dylan spits that hot fire. I do not use Bootstrap Studio for front end. Do I invest 401ks, IRA stocks right now? I have nothing except some cryptos, which let me tell you, aren't feeling like investments right now. I'm just sitting on my money in the bank right now, which isn't normally my way of doing things. Part of that reason is I'm looking to buy property, so I need my money to sit. I don't really like 401ks. I do have some money in peer-to-peer lending, but via Prosper, but I've actually lost money with that. So I unfortunately, that has actually cost me money. Yeah, I've lost 0.25% doing peer-to-peer. So my game plan in terms of investments is property. So I have money in the bank saving. I'm looking to buy a place. Property, usually, so the places I'm looking at for the most part are either apartments, like 2 or 3 unit apartments, or houses with back houses, which is more likely of the two. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. One that I can live in, one that I can rent out, pay the mortgage, rinse and repeat. So my goal really is to buy a new property every year if I can. Maybe every 2 would probably be a bit more so. Yeah. Do you like traveling? I love traveling. I just haven't been able to do anything for a while. My girlfriend's been unemployed for a very long time, so it's sort of hurt our savings. Not that I'm losing money, but it's harder to save more money because I'm supporting both of us, and so traveling has put a damper on those things. Are you a good landlord? I've never been a landlord, but I imagine I would be. Where would I buy the property? Somewhere nearby. It's in the Tampa area. It's just one of those things where here I am. Although values have gone up quite a bit, they're still pretty low in comparison. Will I ever venture away from tech and become a business entrepreneur? Usually these questions are about you, man, but we're talking about me today. All right. I don't know. I don't have any plans to, but if there's something that I thought was a good business idea or that I was passionate about, yeah, yes, I would. Do you want to have 2 houses for you to live in? No, I don't need 2 houses for me to live in. The back house is to rent out and help pay the mortgage. And then you go and you rinse and repeat, and you're basically buying like 2 properties, but one's a little bit smaller. That's sort of where I'm going with that. Oh, man, I'm so tired. I own a lot of property. It's income into it. I've thought about like buying a 7-Eleven or something. Something that would be like, I think I could run this with very little training. What places do I love to travel? Everywhere. Everywhere. When's the right time to ask for a raise when you're a software engineer? Several months before your next evaluation, or if you have a hard job offer and you need to bring it up immediately and ask for a raise. Since they kind of give you the long dick workaround, just give you 2 weeks, take that raise at another company, right? Where are my cats? They're all over. I got 3, man. There's someone here. There's one or two in this room right now. Where are you guys? Hey, stinker. Tito. He's in his window seat. He may not want to come hang out. Let's see here. You guys are answering the hard questions today. It might also just be that I'm tired of shit. I probably worked 55 or 60 hours this week. What about using YouTube? Don't you see yourself as an entertainer or spokesman as a YouTuber? I could see how you might see. I mean, definitely the channel is a infotainment channel. So I could see how you could say, do you see yourself as an entertainer? Just because you're entertaining doesn't necessarily mean you're an entertainer. I would like to consider myself more of an educator. Somebody who is educating you, but doing it in such a way that it is fun and it is enjoyable for everybody involved. And that's kind of why I think it falls into the infotainment channel, right? Do you consider this work? Oh, yes, I do. Just because I enjoy it doesn't mean it's not work. I spend maybe 10, 15, 20 hours a week doing YouTube stuff, building courses and everything else. So I think how could you not consider it work when you are working at it, right? Like, I do get a check and I do talk with sponsors and answer emails, do collaborations, work on things. So it is definitely work. It's not work in the sense that I go to it or that I have a boss. I'm my own boss. But it's definitely work. What were you doing before web development? I was just in school, dicking off, working odd jobs, delivering pizzas, building wine vineyards, bagging groceries. Depends what we were doing. But mainly just school student, not giving his all and hating it. Am I interested in AI and machine learning? I'm interested in it all. Whether I'll go into those fields or not, highly unlikely. There are a lot of YouTube channels that make videos of Google salary and end up quitting Google. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those. Diabetic Manatee, $5 for the work you do. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. It is appreciated. Cash monies are not easy to give up to support other people, and that is probably one of the more selfless things that you can do. So thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Where would you want to live if you could work remotely? I don't know. There's a lot of places I'd want to live, but they're expensive. I think the real answer to that is if I had a good paying remote job, I wouldn't want to live anywhere. I'd be doing what one of my remote colleagues is doing and moving around every month or two. So that would be how I handle that. Do I use the green screen often? Not as much as I should. I really just have it there so I can do tutorials. But in the Dolan videos on Monday, the green screen is used very well. So look forward to that. Here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, when you have these Google engineers who are quitting and going and doing their own thing, the main issue is that people want to work for themselves. It sucks working for a corporation because it's not your end goal, it's their end goal. And so it's one of the things where how do you handle that, right? How do you deal with that? And a lot of times, most people just go through life and doing it, and no one builds up a side income, no one builds up a side hustle. So you're always going to see those outliers of, yeah, you have these 10 people on YouTube who are Google engineers that left, but what about the other 99.9% of Google engineers that are there, right? So hold a live class. You guys couldn't afford my live classes. My live classes would be very expensive. I charge $90 an hour for mentoring. So if we did a 4-hour live class, if there's 4 of you, it'd be $90 a person. And I don't even know what it would be. It'd be like a JavaScript class or a TypeScript class or something. And it's like, that's not something that I think a lot of people would pay $100 for, is a 4-hour live class. How hard was it to motivate while coding? Did you feel like giving up as a beginner? Very rarely. I questioned myself. I never felt like giving up, but I questioned that I had made the correct decision dropping out of college. That is something I did question. Because I wasn't quite sure at what point do you stop? At what point do you give up? What point do you throw in the towel? And so you question those things. But I never needed to motivate, because to me, the motivation was I dropped out of college. I got to make this work. That was the motivation. So, hey Dylan, hope all is well. I'm continuing my path to self-taught developer. Very nice. I feel like if you are feeling like giving up, you just haven't hit your rock bottom yet. So, I feel like for me, I was at my rock bottom, and that was enough. I was like, look, I don't like it down here. I gotta get this shit together, right? But everyone's got to have their own rock bottom, right? Everyone has to, all of a sudden they can't put gas in their car. All of a sudden they can't buy food. All of a sudden they live in a lifestyle they never thought they would live, and they're going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, and they're miserable. Do I work with designers? Very rarely. And should designers know code? They're designers. If they could design and develop, they wouldn't be just designers. But a lot of times, so when people talk about giving up, there's a ton of people that try to learn to code and give up. I wish I had stats on that, but that's a much harder thing to track. But I have no doubt it's astronomical amount. Or someone who's been learning it part-time and has been doing that for 7 years. They take a month break here, a month break there. Do I play video games? Very rarely. What do I do to relax? I don't know. It's something I've been trying to figure out lately. I don't know anymore. Right now, I just work. I'm actually thinking I'm finally getting burnt out. How's school going? I dropped out. So that's how well it's going. I should probably do an update video about why I dropped out. Yeah. How's that cough going? Not very well. Yeah, I couldn't continue with school. It was awful. It was boring. I definitely do an update video. It won't be this week because I already have my videos. It'll be the following week. Yeah, I could not go on. It was a waste of my time. So that's basically what it came down to. Should I start with JavaScript or Python? I think JavaScript is probably a better place to start. Can you become a good programmer even if you're not really into it? I have a lot of colleagues who are not really into it. So here's the thing, Robert. Since you're considering going to WGU, I still would recommend WGU. I just want you to understand what you're getting out of it. If your goal is to just get a bachelor's degree quick and efficiently and cheaply, if you put in the work, WGU is an excellent alternative. If your goal is to become a good developer, if your goal is to get skills, if your goal is to practice those skills, you're just going to be learning outdated content that's not going to be relevant. Not some of it's relevant, some of it's not, but you're really just there to pass tests. It was I don't know. I just didn't get enough value out of it to continue for my time put into it. It was miserable for me, but you have to understand what you're getting out of it. And I thought I could overlook that. That was one of the things I hated about school before, and it turns out I can't. But no. And also for the schooling, although it was a mistake going back, oftentimes it is better to go and get answers, even if those are expensive answers. So I basically paid $3,500 for this mug that they sent me in the mail, and for 3 classes and 2 certs that I knocked out or something like that, to get the final answer that I am never going to go back to college. That was what I got out of my little stint here going back to school, is that it is not for me. It is a waste of time. So, but I know now, and so that's not going to be something like, oh damn, should I've gone back and done this and that? No, I should not, and I know, and that's nice. It's nice to have that. So once I saw the Brody even code mug at work, I thought it was cool. Nice, man. You'll bet 1 Bitcoin I go back to school. You think I paid all this money, spent basically 3 months, and then bounced? And I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that again. Or do you think I learned? So I don't need to go back to school. Why would I go back to school? What type of apps do I work on? I work on I mean, I really can't go into it, but I work on client-facing and back office tools. That's really the gist of it. What are your thoughts on boot camps before beginning the process of learning web development? I think you need to already know how to develop to a degree before you go into a boot camp. Yeah, so I mean, basically what I traded college for, other than my happiness, was and I was basically paying $1,000 for a worse Udemy course. Is what I really pissed me off. But you should always be learning. And so this year, it was supposed to be college. That didn't work out. So I'm doing books and I'm writing a book, as well as I plan to go to some conferences this year, as well as launch my very first web application. So that's kind of where my learning path is for the year. Basic coding knowledge would be things like knowing how if statements work, for loops, operators, plus, minus, multiply, modulo, knowing how to knowing array methods, knowing string methods, and be able to work with those. That would I be considered basic coding knowledge. I gotta use the bathroom real quick, guys. I will be right back. He comes back as Dolan and super hammered. Let's see here. What languages am I use for my app? I'm thinking full stack JavaScript. I've already started building the front end. I need to build the back office part of it. What are you talking about, Kevin? How do you apply to use mine? I don't know what you're talking about. $2, sending virtual high five. Well, hi too. I appreciate that, Coding Connections. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you for the active comments on the videos, man. I know I don't comment on everybody's comment. I just don't have the time anymore, but I do read all the comments. And so I appreciate your very vocal support of the channel. Coding Connections, when he has a video that he likes, says excellent knowledge. I appreciate you saying that. Keep up the good work, basically, and I appreciate that very much. So I do see that and do read that. Dev as a trade. You have to explain a little bit more to me what that means. What essential oil do you use right now? I'm using Spearmint. I don't have the beard yet, dude. Do you guys want to see a little preview for Monday's? Maybe I can hook you up with a little something. Just a screenshot, if you will. Let me see. I can show you a little screenshot of the Dolan video. We'll mute it though. You don't get to hear the audio. No audio. I'll give you a little like 10 seconds. A little something something. Let's see here. All right. Just because we're boys. All right. So we do the intro. It's a collab. No audio though. That's the. So you got our boy Ricky interviewing Dolan. It's gonna be exciting. Let's see. There you go. That's all you guys get. You just get a little tease. That's a little teaser. It's gonna be lit though, I assure you. So it's a two-part interview. It's a two-part interview where part one's on my channel, part two is on his channel. They're being released at the same time. So 6 a.m. on Monday. So enjoy that. It is. Let me tell you, man. I didn't know. So Ricky did all the editing, right? Ricky did all the editing, and he sent it back to me. I thought, oh, I'm just gonna. He's sending back the clips. I'll put it up, but he sent it back perfectly edited with the green screen and everything. And I kid you not, I have watched it probably 5 times since he sent it to me on Monday. Like once a day, just busting up. I was dying laughing. I haven't seen part 2 yet either. I'm dying for Monday to see part 2 on his channel. Like I haven't even seen it, and I'm so excited to see it. What's Dolan's main philosophy? I think it's about getting that cheddar and getting that bread. All right. So the video is titled. So the video is titled The Highest Paid Full Stack Wix Developer Part 1, the cheddar. And then on Ricky's channel, it's the highest paid full stack Wix developer Part 2, the bread. That's the name of the the 2-part series. But yeah, it'll be good. It was a lot of fun. Did you guys see the Dolan quote generator, by the way? Let's give some love out to you guys for making these things, man. I shared it on the community page, but I don't know how many people actually see that stuff. That was pretty solid as well. That was kind of funny. So if you go to, you know what? I'll just bring it up. I'll share the screen one more time. This is one of those things that I talk about unique projects all the time. And like, even if you are at a point where all you can do is like a random quote generator, at least make it unique, right? So this is the Dolan quote-erator. So it's like stacking those game stones. You know nothing. That's my favorite thing is the detail, right? So the background, the accounts, useful links, no account, no GitHub, no portfolio, trust me, I can code. This sort of stuff. Couch city, couch phone. But yeah. So you know what the D in Dolan stands for? D money. So this is someone's little project, which is kind of funny, but it's also a lot of fun, right? Where now you can showcase your skill, and you'll showcase personality and communication skill and all that sort of stuff as you're working on these things. But it's a very fun spin on a not very unique project in terms of, you know, it's essentially a random quote generator with memes. And we all love memes. So, you know, if you are finding yourself that you're not quite ready to start a massive web application, just keep in mind that you could take a unique spin on a pre-existing project like that and be very successful with it. LKid OW, nice to see you. Nice to see you too, man. Thank you. Excuse me. Do I or Dolan have a Twitter? I have a Twitter. I don't really use it. It just sort of spams my videos out whenever anyone goes on it. I check it. Yeah, hawk that link. That's what happens when you work too much. When the braces coming off soon, dude. I'm at 10 months, and they told me 10 months. So either this coming month or the next month. Hopefully sooner than later, because I'm ready. I'm ready. I want them off. Not much longer, please. Some companies offer that here in Germany. I don't know. You visit school half the time and then you work in house. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that, Andreas. We're about to hit 40K, by the way. That's pretty exciting. I mean, how close are we to 40K right now? I mean, it's not 100K the dream. 100K the dream, right? We got to pick up momentum quite a bit to hit 100K the dream this year. We had a really good month last month, and I gained almost 3,000 subscribers. This month, we're back down to around 2,000, which is where we're at. I need you guys to start sharing these videos, all right? To 100,000 by the end of the year. That's like my goal. The way that I'm going to try and get there is through collaborations, guesting on people's channel, and going from there. Yeah, so Dolan videos are another way. Yeah, so that's something I'm going to try and do in the future is more collaborations. Where do we send banners? You can send it to my email. Dylan's email 310@gmail.com. I typed it out in chat. All right, guys. Any last questions? I need to go get some breakfast or something. I feel like death. Thank you, sir. Any last questions before I take off here? This could probably be a little bit of a short live stream. Probably should have stayed in bed today a little bit, but can I keep moving forward? The Coney Face collab? Maybe. I can reach out to him, see if he wants to collab. What did I drink last night? Just beer. I'm not. Do you get feedback on projects? Very rarely. How to get on the blockchain? There's Udemy courses. It's easy enough. Go on his podcast. Does he have a podcast? On the H3 podcast? Oh, God, I'd love to. I would love to go on the H3 podcast, but I think I'm quite, in terms of the size, they have 1.4 million on just their podcast. I have less than 40,000 on my whole channel. I doubt that they would have me. I should just shoot him an email. Hell man, I'd be like, yo, I know you just had Deadma, Sean Evans is a hot one, Bob Saget, Post Malone, all these big names. Why don't you throw some love to us little guys? Let me tell you all about dropping out of college. All right. So I'm a professional. I've done it twice. All right. Let me tell you. Maybe one day, man. We'll see. Dolan will get there first. Dolan H3. That's what I should do. Is I should send the Dolan video to H3 and get him to make a meme about it. I mean, I would love to do a speaking engagement at a place. I just don't know what I would talk about. It's so funny because I have a channel. All I do is talk. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. You're gonna spam Ethan Klein? Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit out of it. I'm tired, man. This week was a rough week. I was about to start school. Curious what your definition of bad is. Useless. Stuff that isn't useful is really my definition of bad. You know, paying $1,000 for a worse Udemy course. You talk about your YouTube channel. I think a lot of people would find that interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Go off about side projects and personal branding. I feel like I'm not large enough to give any like at a conference. I don't know. Let's see. PR manager. It was just I was only going. Holy shit! MS Build costs $2,200. I'm looking at conferences right now. $2,200. Does anyone have any conferences coming up they'd recommend for the JavaScript world? Paper means nothing else is screen, don't want. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna. If you have any conferences that you recommend, go ahead and shoot me a message on Facebook or something, or in the chat. Share it. I am looking to go to a few, and maybe I'll even comment at a few. I'll see you next time. Bye.